Alright, we're going to be replacing the main gear on this Breville grinder. I've skipped the part removing the grinder from the machine because it's not always the same procedure on every machine. You don't always have to take your grinder all the way out. As long as you have enough slack in your cords, you can kind of lift the grinder up out of the chassis and fold it over. As long as you can get access to the back and these screws, that's really all you need. Some machines are easier than others in that regard. For the video, we'll just do it on the bench. So first step, or tools you're going to need: number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, 10mm spanner, possibly just a small scraper tool or pick, maybe some small pliers. First thing we want to do, take our outer burr out. We're going to take our inner burr out. This undoes clockwise. On top of the inner burr you've got a flat washer and a spring washer. Keep track of those. Now we have our impeller. You can use your pliers to take that out. Under that we have, on your oracles you will not have this silver washer. It'll just be brass, that's normal. You only get the silver washer on the Barista Express, the Touch, the Pro, the other smaller machines. Why that is, don't really know. Sometimes you can just tip that upside down. Your felt washer's in there too. You don't really have to remove that for this job. If it falls out, that's alright. Just if it does fall out, just keep track of that. Make sure that doesn't get too deformed or damaged. Set that to the side. Clean out your grind chamber. You don't want any bits of grit in and around this shaft area. You probably need a small brush for this. Or you can just blow it out. You just get it clean. So up here, that's the job done. Now we'll go to the underside. We'll take out the 4 screws around the perimeter. Use my electric one to save time. Now, don't just yank this off. There's some things in here we need to keep track of. Just gently wiggle it. Take it out. Now what we're going to look for is on top of your old main gear is a shim. It'll either stay on the main gear or it will stick to the motor plate. Just check for that and make sure you know where it is. We want to make sure to reinstall that. There it is. Put that there. So you can set our motor off to the side. So now we have, here's your main gear. And now this is your clutch assembly and the gear that drives your blade. At the moment nothing's holding this in, which is good. We do not want to take that nut off. That's why we do everything from the top first, because you've got a clutch assembly with your springs and balls in here. You do not want that to come loose. So now that we've loosened everything, keep your hand on this, loosened everything from the top there, we can just, the shaft will move. Just push this out gently. Now there's a washer there, 2 washers, may have 1 or 2, not sure, can't remember, usually 2 I think. We'll pop that straight back onto here so we don't lose them. And there's your main gear, comes out. There's a tiny shim under this one, I believe, it usually doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, you can see it there. It doesn't really move. Just check, make sure it's not stuck on the underside of yours. Now, this grinder was okay. I didn't actually have a broken grinder to do this demonstration. You can see all my gears are good. In the case yours is stripped, your gears, which is why you're doing this job, use your small scraper and just pick the worst of the bits out of the grease. Just make sure you don't leave any big chunks behind. Shouldn't really matter, it'll just get chewed up in the blade, in the gears, but you just want to get rid of those. For reassembly, well, here's the new one, we won't use it in this case. Back in, transfer some grease off your old gear onto your new gear. You can get a bit of grease off the sides too, and sort of press that back into the gears to give them a bit of pre-lubrication before it starts. We'll take our main shaft. Remember, we got the washers on there. Run that through. Looks good. Now remember that shim. Where is it? I can't pick it up. Remember to put that back on. Yeah, check here for any bits of plastic and gear material as well, just in case. And then we reassemble. No need to over tighten these. Just tighten until, just rotate it. You feel them tighten up, that's it. Just hand tight. I'll just put 2 in for now. Make sure you put all 4 in. Now back up the top. Washer, if yours had that. Felt washer. Gentle with this one. In. Clean your impeller as well. Get a brush and just clean any coffee gunk that's built up around this. In. Yeah, clean all the gunk off your inner gear, inner burr as well. In. Then flat washer first, spring washer second. And remember, left, it's an opposite thread, so it tightens anti-clockwise. I usually just put my thumb on the gear there. Don't need to crank too tight on this either. Basically tight until it starts to want to move, like so. Give it a few turns by hand. Make sure everything sounds okay. Don't feel anything binding or catching or any strange noises. That sounds good. You can put that back on at any time really. And that's it. That's the job done. Reassemble and you should be good to go.